Okay, here we go. I've just launched the Terrain Builder editor. I pushed the T key to get the controls window to show up. Otherwise, this is pretty much just normal Nuclear Basic or Nuclear Fusion viewer using the standard keys. I just did that to keep it simple. So the V key unlocks the camera for mouse movement. The H key shows and hides the on-screen help. You'll notice that there's some new keys listed in that on-screen help. For those of you that are not familiar with it, it'll just be new. I've made the mouse wheel a very fine increment dolly of the camera. So if you roll your mouse wheel closer to you, you'll notice that the camera does roll in a little bit. It's probably a little more noticeable there. Anyhow, this is just a default terrain that's generated and loaded when you first launch. That's why there's that brief pause. It starts with a default terrain. Now, you could open any mesh, it doesn't care. So you could open just like you would in a normal viewer. That's going to be kind of handy when you look at some simple things right now. I'm just going to take a quick look at it. So let's just make this terrain presentable here. One of the things I've done, and some of you have worked with terrains have hit this before, you sometimes have a mix map in a second slot. And what I have here is, if you have your source slot, so your current UVs here, the current UV set to work with is 0, that's the default one. If you click copy, it'll copy all the UV data of that set into this set. If you click the swap button, that just very quickly allows you to pop those numbers, swap them up and down. I only made that because I got tired of hand typing them back and forth. That's kind of your undo as well. If you're testing something, just make a copy of it into one of the higher texture slots or UV data slots, and then swap back and forth and copy back and forth. I'm not going to make a detailed undo for that. Now, if you wanted to multiply your UV scaling, just simply drag in here or select an edit, or just drag your mouse at it and click multiply. You notice it'll multiply on both axes that UV data. Pretty sure you just saw that map change. We'll just look at this and see that you've got your craters are a little more spread out now, what have you. But if you click multiply now, it's going to do nothing because it automatically defaults back to 1. If you click reset, the program's actually pretty smart. It's going to analyze your mesh and try and return your mesh to a default mapping where the top left corner is 0, 0, and the bottom right corner, or sorry, bottom left corner is 0, 0, and the top right corner is 1, 1. Whatever worked out to be the mapping matches the way the image actually looks in your browser. Anyhow, you can put in UV offsets. You simply set your offset amount and then hit enter. Now, for some reason, sometimes it doesn't always want to take that UV set for some reason. There we go. Look at that, you just have to edit the number. There's no drag edit on there for some reason. Anyhow, simply click reset and we'll undo any offsets you've got. The same goes for down here. Here's enter is going to select mode rather than edit mode. So even if you drag select on there, you're still going to have to push edit it once. And I'll work on that, it's a small bug. One of the neat things about reset though is it's tied to the multiply value. So if I put that to 12 and hit reset, it resets the mapping to put the map into tiling of 12, so 0 and 12. 0 and 12. Of course, if you put that back to 1, it'll reset. And you can do that on any mesh with basic mapping, but notice that the automatic feature is based on a top-down planar mapping. So if you're using this on a non-terrain, it might be somewhat unpredictable, so bear that in mind. Now, showing normals. If you have too many verts, this will really slow. Like this is on a quad core, and it just dropped down to 28 frames per second. So if you show those on a smaller vert poly count terrain, it's going to be a lot faster. Things that are going to affect your poly count is the span of a side and the detail level. This means one side of 100 nuclear fusion units, and for every NF unit the side is, you get one quad or two polys. Okay? So if I was to take this and make that 5, come down here and say build my train, there's actually less polygons. Now you notice the train actually gets a little bit darker, and I'm trying to figure out why that is. It has to do with, I think, how I'm calculating my normals, but I'll look into that. But there's less, if you look here, there's more width in the quad size, and that's only 50 units across it instead of 100. And you could make that 0.25, oops, 25, big in the train. There's even less in. Same basic shape, but a much lower polygon. Show normals here. That's just the normals, that's kind of cool. It's much easier to move around with low normals. Now, for a lot of you, this is probably the detail level that you might only need to do game, just something quick and fun. But I can tell by looking at the normal representations that my calculation for normals is just a tiny bit off. It's still very usable. It's still light sensitive and responds correctly to light. That's another thing that we're going to do here. Place light uses your current camera position to place the light. So you can now just move the light to that camera position. And the shadows will have updated accordingly. So if I place the light here, there we go. But let's just put this back up to 1. Obviously, if you go higher, it doubles your polygon. If you're going to do that, say for example, smaller mesh size, but we go 2 times the detail. Okay. Oh, that's the other thing too. You want your height, you want your amplitude to be about 7%. In around there is good for your amplitude. So here we have 36 by 36, but twice the polygon count. So it was actually calculated at 72 by 72. So if I push W there, you see it's almost the same size as 100 gram. Okay, polygon count tells everything at the top. But that'll just happen to be how you want to design your train. Now, let's go back to the default. And change the random seed. Now you can change your octaves and your noise frequency, but I'm going to leave the amplitude low. And you're going to see that you get large, smooth rolling hills. Pop the normals up. This mode, the normals are very close to what it should be. See a bunch of little figures down there. Let me get down there. There's a couple thousand yellow trees. Anyhow, you can use this UV here on any mesh that's loaded, but again, it's only really intended for the planner. Now, something else I'm going to show you. This right now, some of the texture setting stuff is not working. This window is not live yet, not completely, so no need to really worry about that yet. But here, if you blank that out and generate a train, train without a texture. Then move slot 1 is live, so that allows you to see the train without a texture. If you enter a file name in here, it's going to attempt to texture with that file. But right now, there's a simple command you can type, which is purlin. It's going to try and take a double purlin noise map, or the gravel map, in this case, and apply that. So if I say build train, it's going to make the train and apply gravel map. Just quickly pop this up. That's test TGA is the default gravel map. Okay. What we can do here is we're going to multiply that to say 12 and reset it to 12. So it's tiling 12 times across. Now, that gravel map is just simple purlin. It might not be seamless. Yeah, see, there's a few edges of seam there. But it's not really intended to be. It's just to be a mixed map, so you have it mixed in against another map. But here you get gravel, so depending on the scale you want it to be, if you want fine gravel, multiply your degree. Now you can see the repetition show up a little more, but remember this is a mixing map. You're supposed to add this to an existing map as a multiplier. Multiply 7 or 8 as you blend it. Anyhow, it shows you a rolling hills. And yes, it's all very black and white because at this point I haven't got the color adjustments in yet. But I thought I'd let you guys have it like this and have a day today while I work on some of the other stuff. You know, to poke around in the user interface. Now, some of the stuff save the map as. This actually saves out the height map. So it will save out the current map. And when this is grayed out, it means you're working on the height map. So if we push save, it will have just made the height map TGA. And you can see TGA files are quite large, so you don't want to, I'm not going to be packing those up and sending them. Test TGA makes itself. It's created every time the train is created, so don't worry about that. Anyhow, I'm going to zip this up and put that up there for you guys to play with today, and see what more I can finish off, hopefully today or tomorrow. Thanks for watching.